Earth Machine Compost Bin Instructional Training by the County of Kauai. The County of Kauai provides residents, free of charge, compost bins to divert yard waste and kitchen scraps from our landfill. Food scraps and yard waste currently make up 30% of a residential trash can. Composting keeps organic material out of the landfill. Otherwise, it takes up precious space and decomposes anaerobically without oxygen, which results in methane, a potent greenhouse gas. Composting is aerobic with oxygen process and less methane is released. Since 2001, thousands of compost bins have been distributed to residents, schools, nonprofits, and community groups. Compost is a soil conditioning amendment that promotes plant growth by improving soil qualities such as moisture retention, nutrient levels, and pH balance. Place the compost bin flat on the ground. Put the top part of the compost bin tabs into the bottom slots. Put sliding door in place. Open and close compost bin lid by lining up the arrows. Start new compost off with a scoop of old compost and/or soil. This will add bacteria and fungi, or what's known as inoculate your compost. What to put in compost bin: green material such as kitchen scraps, fresh leaves and plant cuttings. This is nitrogen, or what's known as the green. Dry leaves, twigs, shredded paper, wood chips is the carbon, or what is known as the brown. Your compost bin needs 2/3 carbon or brown and 1/3 nitrogen or green ratio. Please note, your compost bin is a vegan. No animal products. No meat, fish, bones, shrimp, or clamshells. Fats, oils, or grease, whole eggs, or dairy. Eggshells are fine. A properly managed compost bin will not attract pests and will not smell bad. It will, however, have bugs and worms. Always wear gloves and closed-toed shoes when tending your compost. For fast compost, make scratches and cuts in your green and brown material. Size matters because earthworms, fungi, and bacteria do not have teeth. Mix all materials thoroughly instead of making layers. Aerate or turn the pile at least twice a week. Use a hoe or pitchfork to move materials to one side of the compost bin. Then move materials to the other side of the bin. Open the bin door and pull materials out. Close door and shovel materials back into the compost bin. Maintain ample moisture. Piles should be as wet as a kitchen sponge. Lush areas of the island will need to dry their green material to obtain more brown or carbon. Place green yard waste into a container and place container under the eaves of the house to dry out. Add to compost bin when material is brown. If you have a lot of grass clippings or green waste, try composting in a heap or grass cycling. The pile or heap should be 3 feet high by 3 feet wide by 3 feet deep. Minimum. You can go up to 6 feet high, 6 feet wide, and 6 feet deep. Water with a hose and cover with a tarp. The heap will decompose on its own. Grass cycling is mowing grass 4 inches or less without a bag and leaving clippings on the lawn. Create a pantry or dry bag for the browns. Collect and store paper towel and toilet paper rolls, paper egg cartons, dryer lint, a vacuum cleaner lint. Items should be dry and free of food. Store your kitchen scraps in a stainless steel bowl or other container on the kitchen counter or sink as you prepare meals. Cook for the worms by giving your fruit and vegetable peelings another hack or two. The smaller you make your kitchen scraps, the faster they will decompose. If you don't immediately go to your compost bin with your kitchen scraps, place the container in the refrigerator to avoid smells, fruit flies, and flies. When convenient, empty the container of kitchen scraps into the compost bin. Finish compost in about 12 weeks to a year's time. Compost is finished when the materials are unrecognizable. Sift or hand sort your compost and throw back pieces into bin that need additional composting time. Always wear gardening gloves or closed-toed shoes when working with your compost. Compost uses are as a soil conditioner. Turn finished or partially finished compost into the garden beds or windrows. Let the bugs and worm finish the compost for you. Use compost as mulch. Spread a thick layer around the trees and plants. Let the water move the nutrients to the plants for you. Use compost when potting plants. 1 part compost to 3 parts potting soil. Use instead of chemical fertilizers. Make compost tea. Place finished compost in a watering can, about 1/3 full. Then fill with water and let soak or brew. Compost tea is a nutrient-rich liquid that can be used for watering plants. Compost benefits all types of soils. Clay soil, when wet with rain, drains slowly, and there's a lot of ponding and soil erosion. Compost, when added to clay soil, pushes clay soil out of the way and creates what's called pore space. Water then infiltrates through these channels. When water hits sandy soil, it disappears. When compost and sandy soil are mixed together, compost binds fine materials to large materials and allows the soil to retain moisture. Compost and sandy soil together will have less need for irrigation and thus save on water bills. What not to compost and why? Diseased or insect-ridden plants or flowering weeds. Diseases or insects might survive and be transferred back to other plants. Dog, cat, feces, and soiled kitty litter. Potential for parasites, bacteria, or pathogens harmful to humans. When that first batch of finished compost is ready to use, congratulate yourself for your efforts. You are ecologically minded and know that organic materials should be recycled into the soil instead of being put into the trash can. You have helped alleviate the solid waste problem. Contact the County of Kauai Recycling Office 808-241-4841 or visit www.kauai.gov/recycling for more information about what to compost and troubleshooting tips.
If you really love your city and you want to keep it pretty, listen to this little ditty. Put Opala in its place. When you cruise around the Aina and you know nothing could be finer, a little litter isn't minor. Put Opala in its place. You've got to take that extra step. Be a Kamai now. You can do it. There's nothing to it. All you gotta do is really try now. So if you really love your Aina and you know nothing could be finer, a little litter isn't minor. Put Opala in its place.